Well, guess what?
We're on.
We're on now.
They haven't heard the intro music.
No, they haven't heard the intro
They were
music.
waiting for the intro. Maybe we need to play it from the laptop sometime.
Send to the Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah, just so we've got some absolute characters. These guys have come in like a whirlwind, but I'm very excited to have them. They're an amazing up-and-coming band from Adelaide. We've got Luke, Nev, and Michael from Heartline. Thanks for coming on, boys.
How you going?
Hey.
Hey.
I think I like that. You hold the mic for him.
Yeah.
That's
I think
cute.
it's romantic.
Yeah, I think that is.
But like taking away really organised.
Halfway through him telling a really in deep story, just like.
Just not giving it to him.
I'm the captain now.
Well, guys, we're super excited to have you on. Obviously, you've travelled a little bit to get down to the dirty north. You've come from many places. I'm actually way further north as well, so I travel up.
You're in the dirty north.
I travel I take my bulletproof vest off halfway.
Guns down into the safety.
Halfway, yeah.
The halfway house.
Windows still up, but no bulletproof vest on.
What's your address?
What's my address?
What's your age?
You couldn't have said that any creepier. I'm here for it. I'll slip it to you under the table.
Perfect.
Where all the other microphones are.
Fucking hell. This is gonna be great. Boys, we usually start the episodes, obviously, we want to go through, I guess, your own sort of individual music journeys that have led you to the absolute fucking superstar Heartline position that you're in at the moment. You've come off a couple of tours. You got new music coming out, which we'll get into in a minute about when that's dropping. But I guess we'll start with Mr. Frontman. You've got the mic up in front of your face at the moment. Tell us a little bit about your, I guess, journey with music and getting into vocals. And did you play any instruments? Tell us the whole deal.
Yeah, I started learning piano when I was in year 2 in school. My papa, so my dad's dad, was a trumpet player and the composer for the army band as a profession. So he was just, obviously music was his life, and he wanted that to like sort of be a part of our lives as well. So he sort of wanted my dad to make sure that me and my 2 brothers both, like all of us played piano. So I did that for about 8 years. And yeah, I lost interest in that a little bit, which I'm disappointed in. I wish I sort of kept going with that. I would have come in handy now.
Where with piano?
Yeah, like I shouldn't have taken the years. I shouldn't have taken the few years off. But yeah, I just the more music I got into and listened to, I just started singing along to it. And I don't remember the point where I was like, I think I can sing. I just sort of did it a lot. And
Favorite shower songs? Name 3.
He's doing our job for us.
You come around this side, bro.
now, favorite now shower songs or back then?
Maybe give us like a classic shower song.
Open Letter by Amity Affliction.
Oh,
that song taught me, like it was like probably like I developed my scream from that album by Amity. Like that's how
Your parents must have fucking hated you, dude.
And also been like, what the fuck? Because that whole album is just wall to wall, oceanic references and fucking emo lyrics.
Yeah,
in the shower as well. Hey.
Yeah, like wow, this guy really loves.
With like the water cascading off my head.
This dude really loves water.
Must drink some too.
What do you mean?
Dude, just continue.
Other shower songs. From back in the day, I listened to so much Papa Roach and Breaking Benjamin. Papa Roach is probably like the staple band for my direction into heavier music. My older cousins showed me and my brother's Last Resort when I was like I think I was like 7 or 8.
And cut my life.
Yeah, literally. Dude. And I used to like, obviously parents didn't want you to swear when you were that young, so I'd be just like, don't give a if I come at young. And then whenever mum and dad went around, I'd say it, I'd be like, yeah, let's go. I'd be like, thought I was so cool.
You say the swear word extra loud.
Yeah, and then I'd be like, oh shit, that was a bit loud.
That's sick. And so when did you actually start like getting into the heavy vocals as well?
I did them kind of the same time. I think I could well, when I look back, I don't think I could scream, but I thought I could. And
Just whispered.
yeah, it was so quiet and it was so bad that there was no technique, but I thought I was really good at it. I think I was sort of got into that before the actual clean singing, because like you could be kind of bad at screaming and it not really be that noticeable, because basically everyone I knew thought that screaming was bad in general, because I didn't have like anyone I knew apart from like family and stuff that listened to heavy music. So it wasn't actually until...
Just bring your mic a little bit.
Damn it.
It's slowly getting
It's like my technique. You're going to do that to Mug. I just did it to myself. It wasn't until I think Fraser and a few friends, we went to school together. He had a band with a group of mates, and he's sort of asked if I wanted to come out and jam and stuff. And that's when I sort of got told, I was like, hey, you can actually kind of sing a bit. And I was like, oh, really? All right, that's cool. And then I got some lessons and stuff after that, and started actually getting into singing properly and doing all the studying it properly in later years of high school and stuff.
Yeah, right.
Just sort
How
of
did you
developed
find
from there.
The singing lessons then impacted your screaming? Did they? They wouldn't taught you screaming.
Yeah. I didn't get like much better at the screaming stuff until later on, where I got really into like learning the proper breathing and more just doing it over and over and losing my voice over and over and just sort of working out ways for it to not screw myself like that. I think for my screams, they've kind of developed as I've done it. Like even since the first tour we did, which was last year in August, my screams have gotten better even just since then, just because that was the first time having to do it 3 consecutive nights. So I kind of worked out ways to take less of a toll, so I would be okay for the next night and the next night. Yeah. Sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause for me, it's always hard because like you can get the scream out, but then consistently doing it, that's the hard part. Because after 10 minutes, you're fucked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then you've also got like singing in between, a lot of singing in between that as well. Yeah. Which can
Jack
be
of all trades, aren't you?
I can't play bass.
Not piano either.
Wow. Okay, look out. You started a war here, buddy.
I can't wait now. As soon as he starts telling us his bass story, make sure you fucking tear him to shreds with any deep cuts.
You don't remember any of like the musical theory that you learnt from the piano?
No, I do. I just like, I wouldn't be able to, if a sheet music got put in front of me, I could read it, but it would take me a really long time. Like I'd just be sort of working on like right from the start, really, really slowly. I wouldn't be able to just like sort of play it like someone who'd been doing that for a long time. I was really learned by ear based. I was bad at I didn't do much homework through school as well, and it was the same with piano. Like all the work stuff I didn't like doing. I just liked playing, so I would just learn stuff, try and learn it by ear rather than reading the music. So
yeah, especially as you don't want to be sitting there trying to figure out fucking symbols and where they
exactly.
land.
Whereas now I wish I did, because it would have come in handy so much. Like I'd be able to do a lot more with piano. But what are you guys laughing at?
Chat, man. Looked at me because I know the music theory. So
Mark was probably a lot better at music theory, even with piano, than myself.
Yeah.
Any bands before Heartline? Any really cringy school bands with horrible names that you can drop on us?
Now you can say it.
I feel like you've done your research, and this is a targeted question because of how embarrassing our past bands were.
All Systems Down.
That's where it started.
All Systems Down.
Yeah, so I'd like to put it out there that I had no part in that name. That's the band that I got asked, like, whether, do you want to come out and join and stuff? I was like, yeah, awesome, yeah, cool. Yeah. We played our first.
Yeah, I know, right? How good.
No one cares what we were fucking saying, Luke. That was so awesome, dude.
The camera wasn't even on us either.
Yeah. They missed a piece of greatness.
No. So everyone's going to think you're a fucking...
So all systems down.
Yeah, our
we're
first
gonna have to
performance.
really steer this fucking shit. Normally,
you are.
Normally it's just a nice free flowing. We got some fucking chaos.
We got some chaos.
Yeah, our first performance was at our school talent show. I think we were in like year 10 or something, or year 11.
Yeah, it would have been year 10.
Would have been year 10. Yeah, that was so bad.
And what was the sound? What was the like? Was it System of a Down? But it was just
No. We had no original songs. We just played covers. We played Monument by A Day to Remember. like 80% of our like when we even played, like we started actually playing in venues and stuff. We had one original and the rest of our set was just cover songs.
Yeah.
And it was like 80% A Day to Remember.
Did that one have House of Wolves by Bring Me as well?
Yeah, and House of Wolves by Bring Me. That was my favorite.
I think I played that one with you guys, but I don't know if I was in the band or not.
Yeah, I think that was like when you just came in and we're like, we have a show, like, can you learn these songs? And yeah, man.
And then what was the actual next band after that?
So this one was my name that I came up with, and I got it off of a Billabong shirt.
Oh no!
It was called To Hell with Paradise.
Not too bad.
The worst I've ever
Considering it was on a Billabong shirt. But
Yeah, exactly. I looked it up and there was like no copyright on that as well. So-
4-word band names.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we love a good 4-word band.
Yeah. And we actually did put an EP out with that band, but we've squashed any online traces of that. Since then, our producer, he's still got him. He likes to torment us with it every now and then.
Yes.
But yeah. After that, that's what led to Heartline. Is we're just like, this isn't going anywhere. The sound isn't like, it's not developing. It's not a sort of I think we had some ideas for new music, or Fraser and Sam did, and that was Frail, and we were like, this is just so vastly different. We just sort of did a full rebrand, start fresh, and that was when we yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's when we like sort of like officially had Mike and Nev in, and we're like, we've got a 50% new group and sort of new dynamic and everything. We just start fresh, and that was sort of.
Didn't need your life story, mate.
Yeah.
No, that was exactly.
That is what they needed. Hear that? Yeah.
Well, I mean, now you're up, Mr. Fucking Negativity in the middle there.
Look out.
Tell us
Look
for
out.
you then, man.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. Hi. My name's Nev.
I like long walks on the beach. Playing bass.
Skipping pebbles along.
What's the question?
Oh my god.
Where did
your
Listen.
journey start?
Yeah, okay.
Did you have some edibles before?
No.
This is just how I am.
I had HJs.
You definitely need to steer this.
Yeah, so I started while at the beach taking a long walk.
So you were at the beach.
Oh my god.
And I found a washed up bass guitar. And ever since then.
So I've been doing photography for a while. And back in like 2017, 2018, I was doing some like BTS photography for Maps, which is like a film school. And my friend Alex, he wanted me to come on, take some photos. And I met someone there called Cameron Henschke, and he needed like a bass player for a band. And I was like, I don't know any instrument at all, like, but I really like music, and I was like, fuck it, yeah, why not? I'll be a bass player. So he bought me a bass, and then like I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I would just practice on this. I didn't have an amp, so within the next like month or something, I just like practiced like non-stop, and I really liked it. And kept on going, and
You practice with like no amp, just
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the
yeah.
bass sound.
Oh, really? Just raw strings?
yeah, like I was just playing "Feel Good" by Gorillaz, like, non-stop.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah,
That should
and
be
like
everyone's first song that they learn as well.
and we started like a band from that called Soda, and just kind of I really liked bass from that point. And then I met Fraser at a gig.
Was it North Lane show, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Nice.
and we just kind of became friends from that, but didn't really do anything. And then like a year after, or half a year or something, like he asked me to fill in for the old band Tail Paradise for a show, and that was when Mike was filling in or something as well.
Both played that show.
Yeah, right. So you had like almost like a half food in lineup.
Yeah.
And then like we all just really liked it, and kind of just went from there. Like we started like a new band from it, and I just I like playing bass.
It's simple as that.
Yeah, simple as- and so, what about like growing up and stuff? Like, obviously, you didn't start late, but what were you into as a kid? What were your shower
Skrillex?
shower songs?
Yes.
Yes, Skrillex.
I loved it.
My shower is
I did as well. I did.
I like the shower song question. I might actually steal it. It'll become a podcast mainstay now, I reckon. As we ask this question, we'll be like, what was your shower jams?
Yeah.
Yeah, how did you sing Skrillex?
No.
Did you see that?
No, he would.
Just
He'll
a
do
quick
it. He'll
side
do
note.
it.
Did you see that? Actually did that. That was actually pretty good.
a bit more.
Did you see the article though where Skrillex reconnected with that girl?
Yeah,
with
the cup.
oh my
yeah,
god,
oh my
yeah.
god, cup girl. Yeah,
That's
that's
fucking
so
cool.
sick.
That's some wholesome full circle shit.
That noise as well is actually in one of our songs.
It is.
It's genuinely in one of our songs.
It's right at the end of DeLorean. You know, where there's like the 808s.
Yeah.
Layered over the 808s is that, and there's some effects on it, so it's not so overt, but it is there.
like
if you listen to those 808s, sound different to. Are they meant to be like the same as the start of the song?
Nah, man.
They're not the same as.
Nah, man.
Nah, man. I think you feel like some
Negative.
naan, some garlic naan. Yeah.
Oh, I love garlic naan,
DeLorean on the
eh?
way. Oh, Haggard's
All
garlic naan.
about garlic naan.
Oh, we'll listen to DeLorean on the way home now and just fucking.
Yeah, now you can listen. You're not gonna be able to unhear it now. You're just gonna hear
that's
that.
so good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hear him. Go on.
Yeah. Just some BTS fucking Heartline.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think it's on to you. I think that your journey's done. You just love playing bass.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
love
Skrillex.
Skrillex.
I love
Yeah.
I love
Michael, give me
Skrillex.
your journey, brother.
Well, my journey, I started drums when I was 8.
Yep.
I copied my older brother, Matt. I just copied whatever he did. So he played drums, I played drums. He played soccer, I played soccer.
Yep.
That's how it started. And I liked it, but it wasn't like a crazy big passion for me. Really until later in high school, I was like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. I started playing in front of people when I was 15 in church. My brother was like, all right, you have in-ears now, so you're on the band, too bad. Like, don't care that you're... I was really, really shy, so I never wanted to be in front of people, never wanted to perform. So he was like, don't care, you're playing. So that happened, and then... I don't know, I did it all through school, did it all through year 12. Luke and I were in the same music class. Yep. So I got to watch him like rap and play piano and stuff at the same time. It was wild.
Bro, year 12 music fucking sucked ass because the theory went like up 80%. Like I don't know if it was the same for you guys, but for me, like everything up to year 11, there was a theory component, but it was so much more practical. And then in year 12, they're just like, you're going to be staring at this fucking book for the whole year. And I was like, literally shoot me in the face. I hated it so bad.
It depended what we did. We could do ensemble and solo, which meant we just played music. But yeah, there was like a theory thing. But
You didn't have an
can't
exam
go
though?
that.
That was all theory at the end? That was like hell weighted on your fucking percentage?
Depends on like, with us. We had to pick like 2 of I think there were like 6 options.
Yeah.
That you could that were involved in year 12 music, and you just had to pick 2 to graduate to like pass. And there was like solo performance, ensemble performance. So you could just do that where like all the theory you need to do is like learning the music
I
and
got
being
my
able to
arsehole
like
fisted. I had to
Yeah.
do that and the fucking and the theory exam. That literally was the most stressful thing I've ever
Yeah,
fucking
so
done.
the people that did
basic ass.
the
Yeah,
people
bro,
that did
yeah.
composition would have. I think they had an exam
they
which would
did,
have been
yeah.
like the freakish, just like
Maybe
like
that's
the
why, because
ones
I
with
did music tech, so I did like fucking made garage band songs. Maybe that's why, because I picked the tech and I had to like back it up.
Wait,
with
so they were
theory or
teaching you theory and tech?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I did music tech
Damn.
as well because they wouldn't let me in music because I didn't do music from year 9. So they were like, you can't come in, bad luck, BL. Right, so I was like, all right, I'll just learn how to produce then, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we didn't touch a single fucking bit of theory. It was just pure...
And I couldn't tell you one thing now, dude. I couldn't tell you one fucking...
You're looking at Reaper and you're like, what the fuck are you doing,
Yeah, I
man?
had no idea what fucking sharp is.
I learned.
You don't know what sharp is?
Apparently Fraser doesn't.
We're getting
What is he?
inside,
Look at him. What is he playing off notes? Is he? Or?
No, we had some issues with guitar tracking where like in the past he's tracked and his guitar, because it's like the strings are so thick and it's tuned so low, it goes flat really often. Like it has to be tuned heaps
Yeah.
with like past tracking. So I don't know if he like subconsciously tried to over counter that for the tracking of some upcoming stuff we're doing, and so much of it was like really sharp, and he was so confused like every song, and he was like every time we've tracked, stuff has been going flat. And he's like, when I saw that it was sharp, he couldn't believe it. He's like, I have no idea why. Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's not like with like guitars, you can use Melodyne and bring it down.
We did.
Yeah.
Wait, you Melodyned the guitar?
Well, not we. So Mike's older brother's the producer now. He's doing all that for us. So we recorded everything with him, and he's melodyned like all the little issues like that, and it's like made it, and it still sounds like he's really good.
I'm gonna give Fraser shit forever because of that.
Sharp as attack, clearly. Like,
yeah.
That's killer.
Yeah,
fucking oath.
Yeah, I didn't know
auto-tune guitars.
Yeah, I didn't know you could melodyne it until Matt did it.
Yeah, because I've only ever seen it on vocals.
Yeah, same.
So, that's crazy. Yeah, so where were we with your story? So you were drumming.
Nice one to take over, Nev. It's not your turn.
You kind of got to the point where you were playing shows, and I think that's where we got to. So.
I joined these guys. Well, I kind of played with them a bit in year 12. But all through school, they asked me to join, and I always said no. So
and now I see why. So he was an actual musician.
We did play together in year 12 talent show, and we played. What song was it?
Throne.
It was a Bring Me the Horizon song.
Throne by Bring Me.
Okay. Yeah, right.
Except it went great in sound check, and then as soon as we got on stage, all I heard was Luke.
No click or anything.
No click,
really?
No tracks.
Just going off of the vocals.
We were like
I could hear
10 seconds off of the tracks kind of thing.
Yeah, and I could hear that in my ear. So I had the tracks really loud, so I could hear for the whole song how far off. Like I think from the first chorus, we were so far off the backing tracks, and like I was just like, this is gonna sound like just complete audio mush to everyone in the audience.
Yeah.
Like I'd picked a song where I was like, people might enjoy it at least. It's like not heavy. It's like it's like one of like the songs that we like, but it's still like quite accessible.
Yeah.
And then it was probably would have sounded like garbage because it didn't line up with anything. It was so bad.
So did you have the in-ears swapped? So you were getting the drum in-ears and you were getting the vocals? Is that kind of what happened?
I have to this day, I have no idea. But that's probably the smartest suggestion I've heard.
Yeah. That's made me rethink it.
Yeah. And you haven't had any tragedies like that with Heartline?
No, because we've got like we put a lot of money into just having like our gear just being like the best stuff. Like we didn't want to go cheap because like we see there's so many shows that we went to where they were running behind because of in-ear stuff. Like, that is like the number one cause of like problems that we saw. So we're like, all right, we want a way to set it up where it's like not gonna cause it problems. We want to be as easy as possible, and that's where Matt helped us again. He's been doing like he like that was the start of him basically doing like he does live sound for us as well.
Yeah, cool.
That was the sort of the start of him doing the live sound for us because he sort of built our in-ear rig and everything. Yeah. So he was like he wanted to sort of keep coming and helping with it and and sort of being the tech. So now it just runs like clockwork now. It's like so simple. Like I didn't think I'd ever be able to understand how an in-ear rig works, but this was like perfect because Matt taught me to sort of set it up and stuff. And now I kind of have a basic understanding. Like on the Lunar Relica tour on the first leg on the East Coast, Matt couldn't come, so I had to do all the setting up, all the in-ear rig and stuff, which was that made me have a newfound respect for Matt and just sound techs, like all this. I was just like, I had so much to do, and I was like, and then play. So that was like not as enjoyable.
Like that moment where you're like sitting there, you're getting everything ready, and you're like, all right, I think it's ready to go. And then you're finally like, all right, let's go. And then you go. If something goes wrong after that, because I know that's happened to me, I've like had my wireless for my guitar, and during sound check, everything was working, it was fine. Literally, like as I went to go up and start playing, shit itself.
That's literally that's like Nev
almost. I was like,
every show.
I was like, is this just a line 6 thing, or is this just like an actual problem, like a technology demon?
Well, I think Matt. This is where we're going to be talking about Matt a lot, it seems, because he's like we think of him as a member of Heartline. He's it's not like Heartline's sound guy. He's like really integral to the band, and it shows when Nev was talking about the problems in his wireless pack, and Matt had a look, and I think you'd been using like a way too powerful like power cord for it.
Different voltage.
Like different voltage power cord, and Matt was like, this should have like blown by now. Like
shit.
he was looking for like melting and stuff. He's like, I don't know how this hasn't died yet. So I think it has something to do with
It
that.
probably has.
You just wanted to make sure that battery was damn full.
It was like a 15 volt for something that should have had 12 volts.
Oh, 12. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Wow.
And Matt was like, anything like 0.6 higher should have burnt
Just
this thing. And it
burnt
was
it out,
3
yeah.
volts higher, and it's
Obviously
still
had a good
alive.
fail safe, I guess.
Apparently,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so, what were you drum showering or shower drumming to?
Are
in
you
your
holding it
time?
now?
Yo, you're gonna be a
Please tell me it was Phil Collins in the air tonight.
No, I can't stand that song because as a drummer, everyone's like, "Oh, Phil Collins."
Yeah, you're like,
You're like, bro,
literally like two
shit
hits
is
on
Phil,
that.
yeah.
Two hits
Yeah.
on that. 2 hits on that.
it's just iconic. That's all.
Yeah. I was in a Day to Remember guy. Yeah. I can't remember the name of the songs, but anything off of like Homesick or
Yeah.
like The Downfall of Us All was the
Yeah.
first song.
That's like everyone's
that
favorite
I
song for a
learnt
while.
metal drums wise.
Yeah.
But then stuff like Memphis Mayfire is my favorite band. So like
Yeah.
Miles Away, which is just the super sad
Feels,
emotional
yeah,
song.
the real
But it's
sad
just
feel
so
song.
good to
I was
just
listening to the
belt
Haunted
it
like
out.
yesterday. Actually, I fucking love that song. That whole album is fucking sick. But
Yeah.
the Haunted, I don't know. I just
Yeah,
love that song.
I was actually cranking some of their new stuff. There's a song called like Make Believe, I think it's called.
Yeah,
off the
it's
new one.
The album is
Fantastic.
really good. Yeah, I
Yeah.
really
Such a
like
good
it.
album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his vocals are just fucking.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
He's
Matty
really
Marshall's
good.
So good.
He's
insane.
really
Yeah.
good.
Not only his clean sing, but then that low transition that he goes down to the scream is
It's
just
so crisp. Just
Yeah.
everything he puts out is just so dialed.
That's why I think that album. I mean, that was like 2010 or something. I reckon the first one.
Is that the one with the rose on it?
Nah, the one that's like the this, the that, the
It's
fucking
Sleep
one.
The sinner,
Yeah. That like for that time as well. Like
Yeah.
the vocal technique that he had just stood out compared to everyone else that was doing it.
Challenger was my that's where I discovered
Such a good
Memphis, and
Yeah.
that's probably still my favorite album by them.
Wow, yeah.
I think it's the one that came straight after.
Yep.
The one you were talking about. Yeah, I really love that album. I had I pirated the whole album and edited on my computer, edited the artist album, so I felt like I've got the proper album. They weren't
You put the image into the metadata. or
I did.
something?
I went Google Images. I got it. I put it in and everything.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, I had a really reliable site that was I think it was called Skull MP3 or something like that, or MP3
classic.
Skull or something like that.
Fuck
Yeah.
It's like kids today will never understand the
Oh,
pain
nah.
that we went through to get fucking
Yeah.
albums and shit. And not pay for them. We could have paid for them.
Oh yeah, of course. I've just got
I'm a
PTSD
fucking
from
pov
that.
kid from the suburbs, man. I'm
From
gonna
fucking
get these for
Bearshare.
free. Yeah.
You know Bearshare?
Oh yeah, and LimeWire and shit.
LimeWire,
too.
Bearshare,
LimeWire,
and Frostwire, I think it was
I
called.
used to love getting iTunes gift vouchers for my birthday and Christmas and stuff because if I got $30, I'd be like, all right, that's one big album or two sort of normal ones. I was
Yeah.
I've got to choose really wisely here. And I
yeah.
decide. Sometimes I bought 4 singles from one album.
Well, what do you
I
think of how streaming has changed the landscape of music compared to back then when it was iTunes and CDs and vinyls even, I guess?
Well, my only knowledge of what it was, maybe I'm thinking of a bit further back, was you just Parkway Drive's documentaries I've done are just awesome, and
Yep.
I've got that book, that 10 years of Parkway
Yep.
Drive book
Yep,
as
that's
well,
in the drawer at home. Yeah.
and it was just really, yeah, you've got that too, yeah, nice.
You've got a mic, bro.
Why are you whispering as well on top of not using your mic?
You can whisper in the mic as well. You go, I got that too, baby.
Yeah, they talk about how they got discovered. It was local record stores would get the new records in, and obviously I think it was Killing with a Smile was produced by Adam from Kill Switch Engage.
Yeah.
So that was that was why it got attention from small record stores. So people would have the person that would run the record store would play obviously vinyls all day, and people would come in and shop. They'd be a lot busier than record stores are today.
Oh, yeah.
So basically people that collect them today.
Yeah.
And people would be really interested. They'd be like, oh, who's this? And a lot of the time it would have been it's Parkway Drive, these young guys from Byron. And it would be so awesome if that was sort of how it happened today, because your music would attract attention, but now people hear a song on like artist radio after they've finished an album, and it's like, oh, that's cool, like it, next. And like they won't even bother to go on like the
Nowadays it's
page.
literally like playlists. I feel it's playlists and like just marketing in general. Like half of what a band is now is like marketing.
Yeah.
Which sucks because I'm the kind of like purist where it's like it should be about good music.
Yeah,
and good music
100%,
should
I
be
agree.
recognised.
Yeah.
And there's probably thousands of bands out there that are huge that will just never get heard.
Yeah, that's it, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm guilty of it as well. Like sometimes I'll just hear a really cool song and I'll just like give it a like. But yeah, cool, I'll come back to that. And then like sometimes I don't for like a year, and I'm like, oh, I forgot I like that song.
Especially when
Like,
I've
it's
got,
just
you know,
it's too easy.
My liked songs is so big that the ones that I added fucking 5 years ago, they'll pop up every now and then. I'm like, fuck, this is huge.
Yeah, so
The band's released 3 fucking albums since then or something. But what you were saying about Parkway as well, the other massive thing was the split EP with Prom Queen. That doesn't happen anymore either.
Yeah.
So like, you think about how much that was like that allowed them to go and record with Adam.
Actually, that does still happen. I saw a split EP recently.
Really?
Between Alpha Wolf and
Holding Abs.
Absence.
Yeah.
Really? All right. Well, it's rare. All right.
It's very
fucking
rare.
We-
but like, yeah.
We call it an EP. We did a split single release.
Nah, it's not an EP.
Yeah, we did a
single?
split single release just on small vinyls with The Last Martyr. So like that was really cool. So obviously it was DeLorean on one side and their song Sugar, on the other side.
That's cool.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
That was through Anti-Vinyl Vinyl Club.
That's
I think that should happen more. I think because
I thought it was
think
great.
about it from like not only do people get to experience like the cool vinyl, so it costs less for you guys because you're splitting the costs in half.
Yeah.
But then you're finding out someone new, and it's also like a marketing opportunity.
Yeah, so whoever was buying it to hear DeLorean on vinyl also gets like The Last Martyr, so that's potentially a new listener for them, and vice versa. I think they have a lot more listeners than us, so we were stoked because I think people that are supporting and listening to The Last Martyr get a taste of us on the back, so that might draw them to us. So
yeah, but okay, so Spotify, like artist radio, and the songs that you hear after songs that autoplay. The only reason why I found out about Sleep Token in like 2017 or something was because of that. So like I think Spotify is doing like a really cool thing in that way to
For
just
sure.
Oh yeah.
help people discover
For
so
sure,
many
yeah.
random bands like that
That's
have
true.
not
Well,
much
I
following
use
back
that-
then.
I use that little section of like bands that sound like this. So
Yeah.
Always go there, then like listen to their top 3, and then go, fuck oath, let's
That
go
is really
deeper
good.
into
I mean-
the. So they're definitely helping in that regard, but it's just you got to be lucky to catch people doing that.
that's how I discovered Memphis May Fire though, except it was on a site, this was before Spotify, it was a site called last.fm.
Yeah.
And I would literally look up, like I think like the first metalcore band I got into was Amity Affliction, and I looked up their page, and then there was also a similar bands page, and I go on that and I would just like scroll and listen to every single one, and I was so picky back then, like there were so many things I didn't like, and then through that is how I found Memphis and a lot of other bands that I've listened to for years. So like a similar thing's been happening. We're on the same page. Yeah, okay, we're on the same page.
Yeah, there used to be a site that I got heaps of like small bands followed, like Shapist and stuff like that. Shields UK when they first came out, it was called Core to the Core, and they just used to release like compilation albums, but you could just download them for free.
That's really
so
cool.
Like back when you were actually having to like put shit on your own phone or whatever, it just used to always be like, oh, they'd release a new one and I'd go like download that, and there would always be about 10 of the songs that were fucking utter garbage. But you would find gems, and to this day, like there's some bands that I found from that time.
Yeah, that allows you to dive into that band, like sort of follow them directly.
Yeah.
Well, you found out, speaking of Sleep Token, so have you heard of Shields before from the UK?
No.
Yeah, so you would like them.
Yeah.
They broke up now, unfortunately, but
Almost don't wanna get
Sam,
into
the
them.
previous Sleep Token vocalist, he was their clean vocalist for their whole time of existence.
What?
And I didn't realise that until I'd been listening to Sleep Token for a while as well, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together
Dude,
that it was him.
spoilers.
And and they were sick. They were so good. But again, I think one of their band members passed away, and then the band disbanded.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But I found that like them off a fucking when they'd had an EP that like had less than 1,000 views on YouTube.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, this is fucking mental. And then sure enough, one of them ends up being in Sleep Token for 3 years until whoever the other guy is that took over now.
Current vocalist.
Yeah, current vocalist. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I love that shit. That's why it's always good. Like, but it's like it's one of those things where like I have to force myself to do it. I think that's the problem
100%.
is that like you get so
Exactly.
complacent in like hitting fucking shuffle.
Yeah.
In all the songs that you've already got. Sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna find a new song today.
Well, that's why I love like the release radar and all those like
That's
Spotify
true,
ones that
yeah.
are made for you. And there's one, I don't know if it's like directly tied to UNFD, like the label, but there's this heavy music playlist called New Music Friday. And every Friday they bring out, like they put up a whole bunch of new tracks.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Does Ethan? I think it's
Yeah,
Ethan
Ethan
Downey
Downey,
Parish.
yeah.
I think that's. I don't think he's affiliated with UNFD. I think that's just he's just really involved. I think I wouldn't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure he just does it like he just finds all the bands that are like releasing all the releases and he posts them as well. Like
It's
and
killer,
tags
dude.
every band and like it's really
Yeah.
cool. And I think it just all goes into a playlist.
Wait, post it on Silly Goose, hey?
Yeah, yeah.
It's fucking killer. Like he does a sick job.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Like, I think when we put out, I think he's tagged us twice. It might have, or maybe it was only just once. But like, it genuinely made me really happy. Like when I was like, oh, like it was like he included us in that, like
That's-
our release. I'm just
yeah.
like, no way. I was like, we made it on Ethan's. We made it to New Music Friday. So
Yeah.
that made me so happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I find heaps of new tracks, especially
Yeah.
Australian tracks.
Yeah, exactly.
On there. It's
Yeah.
fucking, yeah, it's really good.
Such a good time for Australian music at the moment. We talk
It
about
really
that so
is.
much, but it's really come out of the pandemic. Things have just fucking exploded, and I want to talk a little bit more about your guys' tour, obviously with Relica and Loon.
Of course.
That show was wild. One of the first things I picked up on, obviously seeing you guys live first time. I got to stroke your ego here, Michael. Drums were fucking insane. That was such a good set, and yeah, that was the sounds
Actually,
always
I
good.
remember
in
you
a big
mentioning
band.
that. You were
But
like,
I
dude,
did.
they're fucking drummers off their dial.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, the
yeah,
snare
yeah.
just was like fucking. I was coming in my little
Yeah.
jocks.
When the reverb gets turned up for that one bomb. and then-
Thanks. Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, yeah.
But how was that tour for you guys? Tell us a little bit more about that. Obviously, it gets broken in half. Do you guys get COVID as well? You managed to dodge the COVID, but the tour gets.
Yeah, I did.
We all got it.
We all got
I
it.
didn't.
He-
I
he-
am
Yeah, dude. Tuck
invincible.
He's
away
never-
behind
he's
those
never-
drums.
he's
Those
He's
drums
never
are
got it. He's never had
invincibility.
COVID.
I've never had it.
Wow, dude.
I think I worked with people with it leading up to the tour, didn't get it, and then on the tour spent the whole time next to Fraser who had it. As it turns out, I didn't get it either.
Wow, superhuman.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But it was nuts. Like everybody was getting sick, and
Yeah, it was like in the days after the tour, like there was like one person like, hey guys, I've tested positive, and then there was another person, hey guys, and then like I think by 3 days after that weekend, like the whole touring party, I think it was like the whole touring party except for Mike and maybe a couple others that didn't get it, but it was pretty much
Maybe
everyone.
that's why the drums sounded so good.
Yeah.
Everything else in the back.
actually the snare bombs. This is another shout out to Matt. He
Yeah.
is a genius
Yeah.
at live sound, and that's why that stuff happens.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good.
He literally like he crafts our sets so well. He comes to practice sometimes and like
Yeah.
works on it.
'Cause
But there
yeah.
was even one time at Lion Arts he was like he's like pitch perfect but with frequency.
Yeah.
So you could hear in the bass he's like, oh, that's 600 hertz. I don't like that, and he EQ'd it live. Just
Yeah, okay.
like not a note,
He's a
just
freak.
a frequency. Just picks it up and he's like,
so
I'll
he's
get
probably
rid of
doing it to the rooms as well.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys better make him listen to this because you've literally fucking just.
Yeah, we will.
What'd you say?
You didn't hold the mic then.
Yeah. Hey, do you want to repeat it into the mic?
You're gonna like turn up the gain and be like, "What did he say?" And you just hear this tiny little like little worm in your ear.
Yeah, go on.
On the COVID note, it was very difficult to distinguish between us having COVID or just being really sleep deprived
Yeah,
because we had the roughest time at the end of
we
it.
had a really rough.
So you guys
time.
are obviously driving.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was the overnight. And you were like hell party mood.
yeah. You went goblin mode.
I wasn't party. I was so sleep deprived that I just turned into a goblin.
Yeah. So you went backwards. You went
Yeah.
full loop around.
Yeah,
Because we got what was it? It was between.
yeah,
where
yeah.
was it between?
So I'd organised with we booked accommodation about an hour out of Newcastle on the way to Brisbane just to knock off an hour and a half of the drive, so we'd have less the next day. And we'd organised with them that we are going to get there like well after hours, like 2-3 a.m. So I was like, how can we organise so we can get into our room? They're like, yeah, like it's a really quiet area. We'll just leave your room unlocked and the key inside for you. And of course we get there at like 2:30 in the morning, and there wasn't a single. We tried every door, even to the point of a
But there was one lad.
big dude just comes out of one of the rooms like really mad, be like, look, what are you doing? Like, we're just like, we're just trying to find our room.
Dude, and then he like comes over, like sneaking past us, just like sussing our
Yeah.
whereabouts.
Sussing your whereabouts.
Yeah. And then he just left.
dude. And like we asked him like, how do we get the key? Like, what's the process? And then he was like, oh, they usually just like leave it unlocked or keep the key somewhere. And then we're like, yeah, sick. That doesn't really help. And then he's like, all right, cool. And then he like walks back to his apartment, but like, next to his apartment, gets in his car and just drives off. And this is at like 2:30.
And we were still there for another like 20 minutes after that to try and like find a way in. We considered like trying to get in through like these little tiny windows and everything, and he still didn't come back after that. It was really weird at like 3 in the morning.
That is hell weird.
So
Brisbane?
This was outside of Newcastle.
Yeah.
It was a
So you weren't
little,
even
little
that
country
far.
town called Nabiac. It was Nabiac. It was called Nabiac Motel, and it was there was a giant pub, like really like big, like massive, like gaming room and like big bistro and everything. It was like a
No
really
keys,
cool,
though.
like, obviously with accommodation out the back, but no keys. Yeah, so
one-star
we.
reviews for the Nabiac Hotel.
We were like,
bro.
we'll just keep driving towards Brisbane and we'll try and like call and like late night motels along the way. And we made a lot of calls.
You're my assistant.
So yeah, as you can see, Nev's communication can be pretty bad. I'll just put it plainly.
Fuck you.
And Nev decides to be the one to try and call these motels at like 3 in the morning, 3:30 by the time that we've
He's
called
making
some
the
of
sound
them.
from DeLorean on the phone. Do you have any rooms?
And I didn't think about this until after, but there's going to be no one at reception on these things. They're not like those like old 24-hour, they always have people sitting there. But the owners have the phone connected to their mobile. So when it rings out and no one answers it at reception, the call gets sent to their mobile. So we woke about 3 different people up at 3 in the morning being like, hey, do you have any accommodation for us? And it was all really harsh no's. Like one guy was like, nope, looks like you're sleeping in your car tonight, mate. Really? I was like, I know.
Looks like
I know, don't worry, I know.
You probably would have been better off just going to like a big hotel like Stanford or something like that, because they're always going to have big staff.
Yeah, but we were nowhere near like we were already
okay.
an hour and a
We're at
half
Nabiac.
out of Newcastle, and we're like, it wasn't even in our minds to go backwards.
back,
Like we're not going to go
yeah.
backwards. And yeah, I think Nev was trying to call, and I just wasn't explaining things well. Like I was listening, it was making me really
Yeah,
anxious.
thanks.
I'm like,
Why you're my assistant?
yeah. You said we've been like our accommodation fell through. Like I think we were worried. It was probably not a valid concern. We were so sleep deprived. We were worried that he was making it sound like we were bad tenants. Like we got kicked out or something. So we're like, I was like, shut up. And he's like, I'll pass it to my like. You called me something like your associate. Yeah. He's like, I'll pass you to my associate. And I'm like, why did he call me that? Why did he call me an associate? It was really funny.
good though, didn't
Yeah,
you?
no, I felt great. I felt powerful. Yeah, and obviously none of that worked. So we just drove straight to Brisbane, which was like another 7 hours.
Fraser and I drove to Brisbane.
That's true. You drove for like 5 of
guys
those
slept.
hours. We slept for a
Actually,
bit.
Fraser drove. I sat next to him.
Yeah,
And kept him company.
And then how was the gig then? Especially just for you.
it was actually good.
I think I
it was
really
actually
enjoyed it,
really good.
Yeah.
The
The Brisbane
Brisbane one.
one.
Yeah, that was the best show.
Yeah,
That was the best
sick.
show of the tour.
So,
of
did you
the,
get some rest when you got to Brisbane? Before?
yeah, so as soon as like business hours opened, I think we once Fraser and Mike moved into the back to sleep, and Nev and I went to the front. Nev was driving, and
We were trying to find waterfalls.
he thought it was a bit quiet. We're listening to music, and all that Nev says was, we just need to find a waterfall.
Just had a random obsession.
Yeah. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I just need to like be just washed with water. I was like, do you want to go to the beach instead? You're like, oh yeah, that's probably better. Yeah. Yeah. So we ended up going. We found like Kingscliff. We just went to like it was like the first beach that came up, and it was like just after sunrise, or like maybe like an hour after sunrise, and we all just sort of got in the water because we just needed to sort of freshen up. And I called the motel and explained. I was like, I've had a booking there and you didn't let us in. And they gave them like, we gave our money back straight away, and just used that instantly to like get a motel real close to the Brisbane airport. And we went straight there and slept for like 2 hours before the show. I think that saved us. I think that really saved us. I didn't save you. You didn't feel good, did you?
Nah, dude.
Was that when you guys had COVID as well?
Maybe we did by that point. Like
Yeah.
maybe that was
It
like
was
the start
after
of
that
it.
show. There was other people that were getting like sick as. So I think Nev was coming down with it pretty bad. At
Yeah.
that point.
That night was real bad.
Yeah. I don't know. In the
Mike.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, apart from that, apart from the fuckery with the driving, it sounds like the tour itself actually.
Yeah,
went
it was
pretty
so
well.
much fun. Like I can't handle going to like work at my job like without having like 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Like I really struggle. But for some reason, having 3 hours of sleep in a van and then
With the boys.
with these guys playing a show is just the funniest and like the best times I've ever had. Like it's like because that's what I want to do. Like
Exactly,
it's not my like day job where I have to work and force
Adrenaline's
myself
a hell
to-
of a thing. isn't
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Also,
maybe
you're
I'm just
living your passion, man. You're out
That's
there.
it, yeah.
Yeah, I've done stand-up shows before where I've like, or when I did fucking Fringe a few years ago, and I did like 25 shows in a month, and it's just like I was
Wow.
working my full-time job as well, and then like finishing at like 6 o'clock because I was like, can I finish at 6 so I'm at least like starting an hour later? But then my show wasn't until 9:50. So I was having to like just either sit around work because I knew if I went into the garden I was just going to fucking get way too blind, and I knew I had to do it again the next day. But like soon as I was in the mode of like our show starting and like the other guys are going on and like the adrenaline is just, it's so fucking powerful. But the flip side is once that adrenaline dump happens at the end, you're like, shoot me in the fucking face. Like every morning having to get up and go to work, I was like, I'll throw myself into the next car I see. But again, as soon as that night came around again, I'm out the back. I'm fucking hyped. Dude.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Like it's just wild how much.
I'm the worst, I think, for like driving straight after, like at the end of the night, like doing the first driving. I think I've done that like once or twice.
We were seeing stuff at one point.
Yeah. I reckon I hallucinated Nev talking to me at one point, and that is when I decided that I had to like pull over and get a like stop for someone else to drive. Like it was actually genuinely freaky.
Yeah.
I was driving and Nev, my phone was dead, so Nev had maps up, and this was like, we had a rule that whoever was in the front seat stays awake with the driver, so there's two people awake, and like, obviously I looked over and everyone was asleep and I was by myself. I was like, oh no. And then after a little bit, Nev woke up because he was like navigating, and navigating. No, say it into the mic is a good joke.
Yeah, hey.
It was not a good joke, dude.
He's whispering all these zingers into his
Own it, man.
We'll make like a little like compilation of Nev's whispers.
Yeah. I wanted to ask.
Only Nevs.
Only Nevs. Yeah, I wanted to ask Nev like how long until the turn off or something, and I thought I said that. Like I remember myself saying, I was just like, oh Nev, like how long till we turn off? And I didn't get a response, and I was like, it's really weird. And I like turned around, Nev was just sort of like sitting there, he was like on his phone. I was like, oh, so he's awake. And then after like a minute or so, I was like, I don't think I actually said that. And then I said it, and I was like, yeah, that time I definitely said it. And he answered, I was like, shit, I full thought I spoke that. And I was like, all right, I'm pulling over. I'm like, this is dangerous. That was really,
That's
not
the biggest tour you guys have done.
I mean, same amount of shows as the first one, the Circles one.
Who was the first one?
Circles, The Omnific, and Future Static.
Yeah,
who
how
we
was
love. They're like our best friends.
And how's that tour was sick as well?
Yeah, that one was really good as well. I'll let someone else talk. I've been yapping everyone's
go on.
ears off.
Yeah, no, I loved that tour. Watching Circles, especially if you haven't listened to them, watching
they're
them
amazing.
every night was so good. Those guys are incredible musicians.
And The Omnific.
Oh, actually, yeah, and everyone
And
on that
Future
tour
Static.
actually was
Future Static.
crazy. And the Omnific
And
now
Heartline.
they're in London right now, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've never heard of them before.
They're-
What kind of music are they?
they're two bass players and a drummer,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
they're
There are
like,
some fucking polyphia fucking lowdowns
it's
here.
some of the
Yeah.
hardest music I've ever heard.
No
Yeah.
shit.
It
It's
is
so cool.
That's
crazy.
sick.
Yeah, it's really really cool stuff. And they were heaps nice as well.
Yeah,
They're-
made some really good friends.
Yeah, that whole tour we just made heaps good friends with people,
That's awesome.
which I think was what made it really awesome as well.
Yeah.
Especially Future Static, like we clicked with them so well, and so it just made the whole. It was our first tour, you know. I guess you're kind of nervous. You going around with everyone.
Don't want to
for all
step on
these
any like
shows.
people's toes that are in higher places, and we're like really worried about people. Like we didn't know what like people at like the headline level and like managers or like any sort of. Like, we just had no idea really like what to expect, and it was just instantly like like so welcoming and like
Yeah, that was the same with the Lunar Relic.
same, yeah, exactly, yeah,
Like, they were
same. We've
so
had two
nice.
really good experiences.
Yeah, the Loon dudes are really nice. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had such a good
Yeah,
time.
same with Relica.
Yeah.
They're all lovely.
So I wanted to ask you about the actual sound of Heartline and kind of what influences you guys, because the ethereal kind of like reverby vocals and then I've noticed a lot of like the pitch shifted breakdowns, and it's almost like, you know, you guys are going towards like a sound. But what kind of inspires that?
Really great question.
Yeah, so
We do
like,
have some good ones.
Yeah, you guys are great.
Yeah, so Fraser, our guitarist, and our producer Sam, they do all the songwriting, like structure and like production and stuff like that. And like we don't have much control over that, at least in the past. So yeah, they just kind of like have sessions, and I know for a fact that with some of the newer music, they like sit down and they kind of just like fuck around with really atmospheric sounds as like a bass, as like this like mood board type thing, and they just have these like real nice like I don't know audioscapes.
Yeah. Like soundscape type
Yeah,
things.
that's it. Soundscapes.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, one of the things I noticed was the soundscapes were quite often based off your vocals, dude. They quite often, that's what came
Yeah,
to me
okay,
anyways.
that's
Like your
interesting.
vocals
Yeah, really
where
cool.
it was like where they were trying to put the attention on, and then the rest of it was like reverb drowned in the background.
Yeah, right. That's cool because that like my bits are like the last bits to go on. Like
Yeah.
I don't write anything until I've got like the song there because that's just the way we've sort of done it. So like
Yeah, I think it's just like it just happens naturally like that.
yeah,
And
we
that's
just
good,
sort
man.
of-
You want it to be like that. You don't want to be
Yeah.
like have something there and then you're working your vocals to fit into that. You want it to sound like they gelled from the start.
Yeah, obviously you don't want it to like sound like it's being stitched together like Frankenstein almost. Like you want it to you want it to work real seamlessly. And I think we sort of found a semi decent way to do that. Yeah.
Especially in this new one that you haven't released yet.
Yeah.
Especially in that
Yeah,
one.
so that one, Fraser and Sam, did like the soundscape stuff, and that project was originally connected to this concept project that we were gonna do, and like listening to the whole thing, I guess like a couple years ago or something, like it sounded like a game soundtrack. Like it was very like I don't know, cyberpunk dystopian type thing.
We wrote like a full like story. There's like
Cool.
5 songs. I wrote like a full story, and like each song would sort of progress that, and it was like really, it was like kind of like weird psychological sci-fi stuff. Like it was really bizarre. And then we scrapped it. It was like a COVID project sort of thing, because like we didn't know what to do with our second EP. Like if we wanted to pump that or if we wanted to just sort of do this, because we knew we weren't going to be able to play shows and stuff, so we were really unsure.
Yeah, and then we just kind of pushed it, kept on pushing it on our end, because we had like this other music that Fraser and Sam were doing that sounded so different, and it involved like more of us, like you as like the main difference. I guess.
Yeah, well, I wasn't involved in that project. I don't even really know why. I think it's just like you guys had the ideas. Sam was programming drums and stuff, and so I was studying uni at that time as well. So I was like burnt out so much, so I didn't have the energy to.
You weren't going to be sitting
put
there
into it.
arguing about a feel. You were just like, I'll just fucking play it.
Yeah, well, I wasn't even there.
We weren't even planning on ever playing these live. That was like this was
Right.
literally just meant to be a weird thing that just sort of was there. Like we didn't even really
Yeah.
we weren't really intending it to be like a proper release, and like it was just we wanted to just do something really weird and experimental. And
Yeah, like Fraser and Sam were really inspired by, that like really experimental Bring Me album? I forgot what it's called.
music to and then 100 different things like
Yeah,
dance to
okay,
so
yeah,
like
yeah.
that one.
Yeah, they just kind of wanted to do something real experimental, but like obnoxiously heavy with this like bass 6, like fucked tunings.
Yeah.
And I mean, like the song that we're releasing Friday the 19th, which this won't come out till later anyway.
It's out now.
It's out. Listen to it. Yeah.
Like it's just the filthiest track, but with like really clean vocals and like not many screams. So like, the
The first like vocal ideas back like it's like 2-3 years ago now. Like I don't think a single one of that is on
No, there
on the
is
song
within
now.
after the first chorus.
Yeah, actually, yeah. One sort of like the sort of second verse melodies, like that's the only thing that survived vocally from, from like when we initially wrote it.
In,
And
like,
stuff has
2020.
changed. Yeah, so it changed a lot, but yeah, we've liked it. Like we liked like the concept of it and the main riff, and writing a chorus for this song was the hardest thing I've ever written for, because we just like I wrote 100 different ideas and just we were just never happy with it. Like it was always like, nah, it's not right. Like don't want to put it out like this. Like, so that's why it's taken so long to like actually use it, because we haven't been comfortable with it. Like it hasn't been what we wanted from it until now. Like it was the best
you obviously
feeling.
like got the vibe and the chorus and the lyrics that you want to portray, but if the song doesn't match up to it, you're not going to be singing about this, but the song is giving you this emotion.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really, really hard, and I think it actually really did help when I decided what I wanted to write it about. And so I wrote it about this like book series that I really love, and I've just finished reading and like listening to the audiobooks of. I don't know if you know that, you might have seen the movie I Am Number 4.
No.
Little one, well, that's probably good, because the movie sucks. The book series the books are amazing, and I based it off that series. So like I really like writing things about other things that I like media, like books and movies and stuff like that. And it was the first time I got to do that like for Heartline, like not just like my own stuff. Like and that made it go really well, because I could pull moods and themes from the series itself where it would match the melodies that I've written for 10. I just realised I could say the name of the song because it's going to be out. I just realised.
Yeah.
It's been called Chaotic for as long as we remember.
I almost said that too.
Know the name.
Oh, really?
So
Oh,
good.
damn.
And then there's this other song off of the project called Lose.
Yeah, it's a cover song. So we should probably explain the concept.
Fucking give them the cover song.
I just sent 10. That's because you said give the music video. So give
Oh,
the
yeah, another music
video.
video is sick.
So you did a music video for the cover song, or are you talking about the one for 10?
No, for
10.
the one for 10
Yeah,
that
yeah.
we sent through. So that was all Nev. And does Jack have a
Jack,
business like name, or is it just
Yeah, so he's a part of 10K Productions, but Jack Carey. He helped out. He was the
videographer?
cinematographer on the music video.
Cool.
Very cool video as well.
Yeah,
Thanks, man.
that was
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I directed it, edited it, and like I like doing in-house stuff like that.
Yeah. Fucking oath.
I think like we try our best to do in-house, like to do things in-house. Like with Matt, I guess that's close to in-house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I really like doing the visuals for us.
Well, yeah, visual expression is sometimes just as important as the audio expression too, because you really painting that picture of what the song means on a whole other level.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
that's been a really important part of the band for basically since the start, was that the visual elements and the sort of image and of each release and stuff. And that's what Nev, again, doing stuff in-house, where Nev's been really good with graphic design and his animation. Like we've been able to not have to spend like all this money going to really good graphic designers, because we've got one in the band, and it's like Nev pumps his own vision and passion into it as well. So like, we don't even have to I've never even really had much of a say in
I don't want you to say.
artwork, in like album artwork or stuff like that, and I don't need to, because like I just know whatever Nev's
you
gonna
trust
pump
it.
out is gonna be just like absolutely perfect.
Fucking oath.
Yeah, and that's been the case like since we started.
Yeah.
But I think from like the second EP, that
Dialed
it
in.
we just kind of dialed it in, and I got a lot
Absolutely.
better.
Yeah.
I love that fucking EP as well.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
The sound, As a Crow Flies, is my favourite fucking
Yeah.
song.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's my
Thank
favorite
you.
too. Yeah.
That fucking breakdown at the end, I'll kick both my
David.
kids through. and I've got my wife had a kid a week ago, and I'll fucking punt it to that breakdown.
That's fucking epic.
I was gonna say
that fucking bit.
I was gonna say
when
congrats
we
on
saw
that, by
you-
the way,
thank
but
you.
now I'm not so sure.
When we saw you guys live and you played that breakdown, me and him turned to each other and we were like,
Yeah, dude.
Thank
So
you.
that was brutal. Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
it's
Speaking of
killer.
snare bombs and fuck,
Yeah.
absolute chaos. I think
Dun.
what I love is the what some bands are doing really well now. I think Relica's another good example. Probably earlier Wind Waker, maybe more than their newer stuff. That the ability to really blend the great melodic, like uplifting, sort of lighter stuff, and then just fucking brutalize you. I love that. It's one of my favorite kind of like, I don't know, genres almost. It's becoming a thing now where like, you know, we're kind of departing from that. Yeah, another good example where you're just like, you get caught in a trap of like, oh, this song maybe is just like a really chill one, and then all of a sudden,
that's what I really wanted to do with the end of 10, where like there's been very minimal screams through the whole song, and then just the last thing, I just kind of I remember when I first recorded it and sent it to Nev, I was just trying to do some really fucked scream stuff and just make it nuts. And like the first one that I did that I sent is like the one that is in the song. So I was just like, that's sick. I just dialed up the distortion to make it sound really messed up. Like you said, it's just sort of nice going into that like clean. It's like we like the unexpected stuff. That's what we like to try and do, like sort of break the expectations on things. Yeah.
Well, on 10, I kind of got the vibe of it was almost like old Thornhill. I don't know if you've ever had that was almost the vibe I kind of got. Cool. And then I was like, oh, is there going to be screaming? Because in your other stuff there's a whole lot of screaming. And it wasn't until the very end that it was actually in there. Is that kind of where you guys are going to go a bit more on that kind of clean singing path, or are you still just going to just do whatever feels right for that song? Yeah, I think we are leaning a little bit more towards cleans more often.
Pussy.
He doesn't even like clean singing.
No, dude. I don't even like it. I'm fucking with you.
Nah, it's a lot more. I mean, for me personally, it's a lot more enjoyable to write and perform. Like I love doing screams, but not like for like half or more of a set. Like I wouldn't be built for like a deathcore band or anything, because I just get a little bit like, I suppose uninspired is a bit harsh, but I just wouldn't really know what to do after a little while. I feel like I'm sort of like being repetitive, and like even just like movements with it, like being just sort of like angry heavy. I like to sort of move around, like even just like dance a little bit, like write groovy melodies that sort of make you want to like move around and stuff. I find that a lot more enjoyable.
Look
That's
at
what I'm sort
from
of
Relica, just
passionate.
fucking dancing around
exactly,
the whole time.
like,
It's like it's a whole other element to the show.
Instead
of just the 1 foot on the fucking fallbacks.
Oh, no. Like
just fucking
leaning down. Yeah. I think the
hand
juxtaposition
on top of the mic like this.
I think the difference between when it comes to screaming and clean singing, when you're kind of clean singing a fair bit, and then it leaves room for the screams to be aggressive.
Yeah,
and to actually build that suspense. Instead of, because if you're screaming the whole way through, don't get me wrong, I love screaming. If you're screaming the whole way through, right, it's almost like there's like one level of kind of like intensity the whole time. I like songs that dip and sway and build up and break down, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's
exactly what we're like.
And it makes the scream or a breakdown or whatever just hit that much harder. And again, that's where it creates that hole. You don't see it coming.
Yeah.
Whereas like when it's like, because on the flip side of that, when a band is notoriously heavy all the time, notoriously screaming all the time, and then it doesn't break down and you feel robbed, you're like, what the fuck?
Exactly, yeah.
So it's like you kind of backed yourself into a creative corner when you like start out in that way, because everyone's always expecting it, and then when it doesn't come, it feels like you've fucking been cock teased. Yeah. Whereas for you guys, again, even with the new song, you didn't really. It just was good on its own. Still had so many cool elements about it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we're still going to hear some breakdowns, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank God. So talk about the future of Heartline then. Let's dig into that.
Yeah. So we have a EP that we've just finished recording and producing and stuff like that. That we're about to send off to Nick from Thornhill.
Yep. He did
That
DeLorean
does.
and 10 and Loose that are now out.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Did you say he mixed them?
Yeah.
Sick.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So. Yeah, we got EP coming out.
Oh my God.
Can you just fucking answer it? I'm not answering this.
Okay.
Let Michael answer, actually.
Let Mike answer.
What? Anything else? So that's kind of it. That's like the EPs.
We'll steer the ship.
No, not yet. So we're
right,
still, because Thornhill are touring like crazy at the moment. So we're sort of he'll be sneaking in, mixing the EP when he can.
Also, Ethan from Thornhill co-wrote one of the songs, which will be the lead single.
Sounds
fucking sick.
It'll be the first release single of so
Sounds like Thornhill.
Yeah, we actually played that one live, so you might recognise it when you hear it.
Yeah, okay.
That's
Yeah.
fucking sick. And then we do a polyrhythm in that. Talk more about polyrhythms, Mike.
Yeah,
me
Mike
to
talked about
actually talk
polyrhythms.
Tell the audience about polyrhythms because we wouldn't have ever talked about it before.
It's we do a 7 polyrhythm, and we're just playing groupings of 7. So it's literally just a breakdown. Dun, 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 dun. But it's because it's a grouping of 7. It's odd, so it's not gonna line up at the end of the bar. It crosses bars and it creates this new like tempo, like the new rhythm kind of thing.
It's not 4/4.
No, well, like it's in 4/4, but it's
but it goes out of it.
going outside of it. Yeah. Which I don't know,
Really
it's just
push
really
them
cool.
boundaries.
I love I love doing that stuff.
I think tastefully done. I like it.
Yeah. I get into all the prog bands and stuff, and I studied jazz at uni as well.
Okay.
So I got my bachelor's of music, so I kind of went pretty deep into that a couple of years ago, and so then I really wanted to bring it to Heartline, but it's like, how do you bring it in tastefully to our style?
That's it, man.
You don't want to just be like wanky and
Throwing it in for the
just-
fucking sake of it.
Yeah, because it does get pretty annoying to listen to if it's not done.
Yeah.
100%.
And if it's non-stop like stuff that like the average music listener can't really grasp, because like not everyone studies music and like understands complex music, like so it would just be like, to some people it would be very jarring.
Well, that's
You
why
just
some of
wouldn't
the
know
prog
what's-
stuff is just like, some people are just like, what the fuck is
Exactly,
this? Like, you have
yeah.
to have an appreciation for like what's actually happening at a
Yeah,
musical
it's just a
fucking technical
it's
level
just
to
a
be
taste
like,
in
this is kinda
itself.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're literally opening the EP with a drum solo. So I mean,
sick.
like
Yeah.
we're like kind of a prog band.
We're not opening the EP with a drum solo.
Oh, at the end of that.
But is
opening
there
song.
is there
In the
ride bill
opening
though?
song.
That's what I want to know. Is there ride bill?
I don't use a ride for Heartline.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's just
He's
3
now called
Chinas.
both of you pussies. I'm very
It's just 3 Chinas. That's all he uses.
Yeah.
Someone call him a pussy before the show's over. So you've all
I'll sneak it in, but I'll make it really organic.
We've got the questions coming up shortly, which is a set of questions we ask every guest. One of his answers, I just want to
Be like
expect
pussy.
Yeah.
to be like pussy. And if you both call him a pussy at the same time, points.
That would be incredible.
That would
That would
be
be incredible.
fantastic.
So where do you see Heartline in, let's say, 5 years? Let's go there.
What do you want to be doing? You want to get
Festival
overseas? What's
spots
kind of some,
headlining.
like long range
Everyone
goals?
answer this.
Where you going, dude?
Yeah, I need a wee. So
Bro, it's not.
I know it's mid podcast. I've listened to podcasts where this happens. I'm gonna put that out there.
Pussy.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I've done it before.
Pussy.
We've got
Yeah.
3 people.
Yeah, yeah. Now we're down
true.
to 2. Now we're down to 2.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm staring down. I'd be fucking pissed.
Nevin Michael, what's some
before he
long
gets to the
range
fucking
goals for
toilet.
Heartline? Where would you like to go? What would you like to do?
Yeah, I think like we would like to consistently tour,
Yeah.
and have that as just like a constant full time position. But I think like with music, I think expecting full time work from it is, I don't know, like a bit too much. So I think like right now we're just trying our best. If something like if we get like a label offer, or if we end up getting like full-time tours and stuff like that, like I would absolutely love that. But I think we've just gotten very depressed in the past when that doesn't happen. So we're just kind of trying our best and like seeing what comes out of it.
Yeah.
And just like actually having fun in the process, because we've also had scenarios where it just hasn't been fun, and we're like, fuck, all right. So like really keeping it fun.
Yeah,
and casual,
I think that's kind of one of my biggest things. I just wanted to keep being fun.
Yeah.
Like if we don't go big, oh well. Like it'd be awesome if we did, but if at the end of the day, I just wanted it to be fun.
Yeah.
To be able to play shows, hang out with the boys, and meet awesome bands, and
That's it,
just
man.
keep making our own music. You
And
know?
you've made some good music already. So
Yeah,
Thanks,
and
man.
you guys have great chemistry. It's like it's fun. You cringing at each other's fucking every move is great. That's
Yeah,
what you
fucking
want.
hate them.
But it's like, for the podcast is the same for us. We literally talked before you guys got here about like, we're doing it for 3 years. We do it because it's fun. Like, I've had the most crazy week. I've just had a son be born.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
flying to Sydney for work next week. I've been promoted. Like everything
That's
else
it.
other than the pod's going on, and
Yeah.
yet got to today, and I'm like, fuck
Pumped,
yeah, pod
yeah.
night. I've got you guys coming on. I was like super excited. So like, as long as it's still got that, and for you guys as well, if you've got a tour coming up and you're like, can't fucking wait, then it's worth doing it. Even
Yeah,
if
man.
again, you know, maybe one of those shows has 7 people or whatever.
Yeah, dude.
You're like, but we had a fucking great time getting here, and it's worth doing it.
Yeah, like we've even had experiences where the show hasn't been that good, but we just have a fucking blast.
Yeah.
It's really interesting how a lot of touring, like the cool bit isn't even the playing.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude,
it's just-
legit.
like the playing is amazing. It's so much fun playing shows, but at the end of the day, it's like it was so cool, like driving across Australia to get there, or like having to figure out airports and stuff.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
You spend more time within the in-between moments.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
you
yeah,
really
'Cause
have to
there's
enjoy
so
that.
much more time, between shows
Yeah.
than there is playing it. We're playing for 30
30
minutes,
minutes, yeah, literally.
Yeah.
but we're away for like 4 days.
You're paying for
Yeah,
like, what, 3 hours in total across the whole tour? Maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
It's why we talk about Unify all the time, about how like we love Unify so much. It's like the bands have always been great, but that's not why we go. It's
Yeah.
for the drive over. It's for the fucking sitting in the campsite
Yeah,
at 4
fucking
a.m. with that little Bluetooth speaker,
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
headbanging.
Meeting new people.
Yeah. Like I've got a mate now that like I play fucking Xbox with him on a weekly basis. I met him at Unify in 2020. He's just like become like a hell good mate. We're like, we got to get you over to
Yeah.
Adelaide.
Yeah,
Like,
Shout out to Dills, he's a legend.
Shout out to Deals. He'll be listening.
We have people like that.
Yeah, well, that's a great idea. A good friend of Nevin mine. I met him at the first Unify I went to. Like I didn't realize. Like we sort of hung out, met for a little bit, and I saw he was wearing this blue jumpsuit with all these like song lyrics written on it.
That's
and
cool.
when I first met him, I looked at it and I was like, I've written on that. I wrote on it at a show in Adelaide. I reckon it was like Polaris at the Unibar or Make Them Suffer at Unibar.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've written on that. And I brought it up and I was like, turn around. And I found it. And he was just like, oh, and he named the show. And I was like, oh, no way. And yeah. And then like we sort of hung out and everything, like with who we were with, who we traveled over with and everything. And yeah, like we're like still friends. We're literally catching up on Saturday. 'Cause he's,
That's so
yeah,
fucking
'cause he's in the
cool, man.
army. So he's always traveling and always
Yeah.
away and stuff. So yeah, we're literally.
He isn't a pussy.
He's going to get some pussy redemption.
Yeah. He's gonna get some dished out.
bad
Even
karma
if it's
is what
not
he's
tonight
gonna
in the
get.
comments.
Wait, in the comments of your new single, we're going to be commenting.
Yeah,
Ned's a
pussy.
What's a pussy?
I'll be the first one.
What's his bass tone? Nev's a pussy.
Yeah, what's his bass tone? It's his pussy ass fucking weak bass tone. Let's talk about polyrhythms. All right, I think that's a pretty good
it.
time to get into
Let's
the
do
fucking
it.
questions. So,
Nice.
as we said, every guest that comes on, they get asked the same set of questions, and hit them with question number 1, Mum.
What we'll do is we'll get each of you boys to answer individually as well,
Yeah.
instead
Yeah.
of like, just getting the thing.
nervy.
All right.
Pussy.
What is your favourite song of all time?
Oh man,
Collective groan.
Yeah.
I don't want to go
good.
first.
Never go first. I know.
You know?
Okay. Two-Way Mirror by Loathe.
Okay.
I haven't had a Loathe song before.
No,
but
haven't.
fuck yeah,
Yeah.
that's.
Do you want a why? Does he have to go into it?
Yeah, no, you can give
want
us
to?
a little
Yeah,
while.
give
While
us
these
a
boys,
Give me a moment, please. Buy me some time.
yeah.
When I broke my pinky.
Pussy. Yeah!
I know, dude. I was in the hospital. The song came out. I had it in my ears, and it made me feel better. So I just think it's the most amazingly crafted song. It's fucking perfect.
I can't. I literally can't pick like a all time favorite song because
Alright, quick
I
top
go
three
through
then.
I go through such phases. So like yeah, I'll be listening to something like and I'll be like, this is my favorite or this is my favorite at a particular time. Right now, my favorite song is "World's on Fire" by Butterfly Effect. I'm just listening to a lot of like Butterfly Effect, Carnival, all just sort of older prog rock, prog metal stuff. And yeah, World's on Fire is like they just opened their album with an 8-minute song, and I just think it's just such a big ball move. Like so, and it's just perfect. Like the way it sort of like it just starts so subtle and just like builds up and goes back down. It's like got like a steady like up and down until it just blasts out right at the end. It's just amazing.
Fuck yeah.
And Clint Boge is an incredible singer. I love that guy.
But what about you, Michael?
I'm gonna go with a few as well because I can't.
Sure,
that caught me so off guard.
Yeah.
One of them would be Vices by Memphis Mayfire.
Yeah.
Off Challenger. Just
track. Good
amazing. Johnny's Revenge by Crown the Empire.
Yeah.
Which is just they're a huge band for me when
Circus
I was like
Core.
14, 15.
Yeah,
and
dude. Crown the
all
Empire
that
are
stuff.
fucking sick.
And then
One of the many bands of Empire in their title that came out all around the same
Yeah.
time. So I love the
It was a
cheeky
trend,
fucking
wasn't it?
Empire or a Crown.
Yeah.
yeah.
Empires and Crowns.
Yeah.
That and then a more recent one would be Reptile by Periphery.
Yeah.
It's 15 minutes, so
What
it's
did
like
you go Thornhill Reptile then? Which
Yeah.
is also,
Also
fucking
great.
great.
That's why I had to clarify.
Yeah.
But it's a long one, but it's just the journey of the song. I just
Yeah.
love it. It's awesome.
Periphery
Yeah.
fucking have some bangers.
They got some
Not every-
polyrhythms.
Yeah, they got some.
They have some serious polys going on. That's what we in the
They're
music call
polyed
them.
up, dude. All right, well done. That was pretty good. All right,
was good.
Question number 2: who is your favorite comedian or comedic actor?
All right, I'm obsessed with Auntie Donna. I love Auntie Donna. Like,
not a comedian.
Well,
they're a sketch comedy group.
You have to pick one.
No, we'll let do all
You have
three.
to pick
no, you can
one.
do all three.
Do all
Oh,
three.
You don't make the rules, guys. These guys do.
Let's come
Sit
here and try to
down.
fucking strong arm the pod.
Yeah. This is Wormholes, not Nevholes.
Nev
That's on only Nev. Oh no.
The Auntie Donna skit they did recently of the real estate agent.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's really good. They just put
so
out a
good.
show on ABC iView, and it's so funny.
Really?
It's just complete absurd, ridiculous stuff. Like, and their podcast probably what I like consume by them the most.
Yeah.
And it's just sensational. It's just random improv stuff, and I love it. I
Fuck
really
yeah,
love it.
dude.
Love it.
Well done, Nev.
I'm gonna
Only
say
this.
Broden from the Auntie Donna sketch group.
Yep.
Why do you like Broden?
Because he has a nice voice.
He does actually have a
does.
nice
Yeah, he does
voice.
actually. Yeah,
He does. Yeah.
Get out the kiln.
I think Nev's a pussy because he copied Luke.
Fuck yeah.
Everyone here has to call Never Pussy before the podcast ends.
And then we'll release a compilation of that on it.
Yeah, I'm going to be unique and Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unique from Nev, not from
No,
Bill Burr's
we've had him a
popular,
few times, but
yeah.
I mean, you can't go past it.
Yeah,
One of his
Yeah,
fucking go-tos.
just watching him with my brother when we're just hanging out, it just goes so hard.
I think he's probably like the angriest, most successful. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
a lot of
he's
the really
angry, isn't he?
successful comedians, like, pretty cool. Like, you know what I mean? They have the fucking sweat. No, he's just straight up like raging.
Yeah.
Yells.
Massively fucking popular.
See
Especially
the
when like
vein in
people
his
send
forehead?
in their problems.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What are you doing?" Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Some of the ones have you seen the clips of him just like ripping an audience, just being like telling them everything that's wrong with their city, like, and just like, and you're hearing the crowd be like,
They're like, this seems personal.
I love that. I fucking love that shit.
That
That's
is-
so good when he's just
What are
like,
your favorite comedians?
we've
Yeah.
not said
What
ours
did
for a
we-
while.
Yeah.
Mine's Louis C.K. I always go for Louis C.K. Penis out aside. I fucking,
Yeah.
his
Penis
comedy.
outside?
You don't know about the Louis C.K.
No, I don't.
He like jerked off in front of some girls, but like got consent. But then they were like, "I gave consent," but like
Still got me too.
Still not good.
I
Still
still
got
feel
me
Still a
me
bit
too.
rotten.
Damn.
So, but you know, fuck it.
Yeah.
What a penis. All right, what about you, man?
This is like one that changes me quite often. I think originally I said Russell Peters, right? But I think of all time now, it probably is Arj Barker.
Yeah, he's good.
Arj Barker.
Yeah, I love
Really,
him.
have you seen Shane Gillis at all? Have you seen any of his stuff?
No.
So he was a guy that like he's just an up and coming comedian now, but like he got a gig on SNL and then got fired before, like got in the like the height of cancel fucking culture. They dug up some old fucking podcast that he did and like cancelled him before he ever made it onto SNL. And like because of
Yeah,
people being
right.
so pissed off by cancel culture, it just exploded his like career. And so
I helped him out.
And he's just like
Yeah.
I listened to his podcast and they just like talk like old like high school teenager, like they're just like, yeah, that's fucking gay and just whatever, but like so ironically as well, like they realize that it's not, you know what I
They're
mean?
not being
Yeah.
homophobic.
They're not, they're just like
yeah.
saying it to each other, and I just love that. Like, there's still a place that we can fucking
Like, yeah.
be a little bit juvenile and fucking
Yeah.
stupid instead of everything having to be like so
pissy.
clean cut
Yeah.
and whatever these days, like it seems to be.
Yeah,
So
very
he's my
juvenile.
favourite.
Love it.
We're too juvenile.
All right. Question number 3. What is the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Ooh, put the mic down.
I'm done.
He's like, I haven't been given advice. He's like,
Someone once told me, don't be a pussy.
So I didn't be pussy.
I reckon it's like not groundbreaking in the sense that it's like it's somewhat obvious, but it's different when someone in a higher place tells you. So for me, it was Will King, former Wind Waker frontman, when we played with them. One of the times we played with them a little while ago, it was pre-COVID. He just said, like, he talked about being physically fit as a vocalist when you start touring. So at that stage, we'd only done like a Melbourne show and then come straight back. So we hadn't actually toured or done any consecutive shows or like more than 2 nights. And yeah, he sort of stressed how being physically fit, like cardio-wise, how much that can impact your performances, especially like night after night, and then even just sort of sustaining yourself while traveling. And my fitness level varied a lot between the Circles tour and the Lunar Relica tour. I was way fitter for Lunar Relica, and those were the best shows I've ever felt. During and after. Nev's just gonna rip into me right now. Yeah, he's got some. Yeah, he's gonna call me a pussy.
How many abs you got now?
0. Too many of these.
that's cool though, yeah.
But yeah, it was just like, obviously being fit will help, and like it's not a hard thing to work out, but just sort of like when you're given the advice from someone who you know is like really, really good at what they do, you sort of look up to them. It really like it gives you a bit of motivation and stuff, and it just took me another 2 years to actually get fit to really want to do it. Yeah,
Kill it,
that's
man.
me.
Kill it.
Nev?
Dude, I don't know. Like, I can't really remember like a specific piece of advice, but
Is there something you live your life by?
yeah, I think like, especially with music, like if it ever stops becoming fun, like I really have to step back, take a look at the situation and deal with it, and then move forward.
So your advice is have fun.
Yeah, man.
Have fun, don't be a pussy.
Grow up.
No, I like that though. You got to have fun. Like we were saying before, we literally say that about a cast. Like the second that we stop having fun is the second that it's going to stop.
Yeah. If it's gonna be a slog and like it feels like a chore, then like it realistically, it's like it's art. Like, I don't want to sound really like wanky with it, but like it is what it is, and like you need to put passion and put yourself into it, and the product is never going to be good if it's a chore and stuff to you. Like,
Yeah, well, I've been doing stand up for 11 years now, and I've got a show on Saturday night, and I'm just always excited for it. And that's like, as soon as that goes away, I'm gonna fucking throw it in the bin because it's just like I have
What's the point?
When I still feel like I can get the same rush from getting up there and doing a fucking shit job, then I'm gonna
It's when people stop laughing. I think.
Yeah, that's right. And I did a show in Swan Reach, like so.
oh really? Yeah, right.
And it was the pub that we did it at made the classic mistake of making it a free show, and we always advise against it because when you put a show on for free, every fucking person who doesn't give a shit about comedy will rock up because you're in some fucking shit hick town
of
that has nothing there. Whereas when you charge a fee for a show,
It's people that want
they
comedy.
I'll go and see comedy.
They're going there to have a laugh.
And
so
within about 35 seconds of me being on stage, some fucking coffin dodger was like, "Language, mate," and I was like, and it was just.
Oh no! You're like 90% of my set is gone.
I bombed. I'd never in at that point 10 years of doing stand up. I'd never like walked off halfway through a set until that moment.
Wow.
So that was a moment where I literally, like you would know, I questioned whether I was ever going to do stand up again.
Did the next show after that?
We'll just keep doing that. Like.
Yeah, I did a show in Murray Bridge afterwards because we're doing like a SA comedy roadshow at the moment. We're just trying to get out to like places where people don't get comedy as much. So we were in Murray Bridge for the next show. And it was like a crowd was a lot more balanced at the age.
Yeah.
And it was already better. But the funny thing was, like, just to kind of test me, some guy started fucking power chucking all over himself, like another 3 minutes into my set.
That was funny.
But I just fucking ran with that, ripped
Yeah,
into it.
yeah,
the whole
exactly,
way,
yeah,
and,
yeah.
like,
That's
then
so good.
Yeah, it was a great time. And so after I got off that stage that night, I was like, still got it. All right,
That's
we're gonna
great.
keep going. But yeah, those really fucking bad shows will test your loyalty to it. Michael, how about
Yeah,
you,
what about
man?
you, man?
Best piece of advice.
I think for me, it's the only way you'll ever grow is by being stretched.
Yes, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like every time you get out of that comfort zone or you hit that border, like push yourself past it. Because that's the only reason I'm here.
See, where the fuck were you on that one, bro?
You are such a pussy.
Yes.
Luke's got it in.
Get some real advice.
Fuck you at the end of this.
Whoa.
What?
Lucky there was no.
Lucky there was no mic on the Only Ned's is going to be hot.
Yeah, only there is a subscription. How much you charging for subs to that? Yeah.
$20.
He knew the price point as well.
He's been thinking about it.
Hit him with question number 4.
What is question number 4? Let's go. Oh, what are 3 things you're grateful for today, boys?
Today, wow. Well, one I think about a lot is just like I hate work. Everyone hates having to go to work, but the fact that we can and earn money and just then go home and do stuff we want to do and eat is like can really get you out of a hole of being like complaining about stuff and not feeling good. Like work might suck, but like the fact that you can do that and actually have money to go do stuff or and have a roof over your head is pretty. What? Okay. I offered Nev the mic. What is it now?
He was trying to give Nev the mic for so long, and Nev just wasn't acknowledging it, so he pulled it back, and I saw that and laughed. That's all
We
it
made
was.
eye contact.
Yeah, that was all it was. Nothing sinister. That was a great.
I was just more looking at Mike having a laugh. I'm like, all right, what have I said here?
No, nothing. He was just like had the mic there like any second now,
Ugh.
and it just never happened. But yes,
I'm gonna say a little wholesome thing and like grateful for the opportunity to come here and do a little podcast with you guys.
Oh,
This is really cool. This is our first podcast, so it's mine anyway.
possibly last after Nev's fucking shit.
Yeah, we're not going to be invited anywhere. Thanks a lot.
Next time it's Luke and Michael.
No, you've been great.
Nah,
I enjoy a bit of fucking personality.
Yeah,
It's
fucking
better than
oath,
someone
man.
sitting here and just being like, yeah, so.
Yeah, we've had a fucking ball.
Yeah, it's been a lot
Personally,
of
that's
fun.
one word for it.
What are you grateful for, Nev?
What are you grateful for, Nick?
Take the mic.
Dude, that was like flick to switch.
Let's go down 4 octaves right before he answers the question.
It's the smoky voice.
Yeah, I know. Used to be.
Yeah, I think I'm really grateful for having just the best family.
Yeah,
They've been like supporting me, like through my entire life. And my careers at the moment are all very like hard to get into and hard to get stable. Like I do visuals as a job and, do band as well. So it's like they still support me through all of the, the like unstable things that I actually do.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
What about you, Michael?
Sweet. You said 3 things, right?
Yeah, well, they just went just
1, 2,
whatever.
3.
Well, yeah. Do one each. Do one
Rattle
each.
off as many as you want.
I'm on placement at the moment for teaching. I'm a pre-service teacher, and I'm just I'm loving it. I'm just really grateful that I'm actually enjoying it. And I've found, I guess, a career that I want to go into. And I'm just grateful that we can release more music.
Yeah.
I really dig the stuff that we've made. Not that I haven't before, but this is just like a whole new
Next
level.
level.
Like, I'm so
Yeah.
happy that
Yeah.
we've done this.
Well, like I've definitely noticed a whole new level. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
So excited for the next step of Heartline. And
Yeah.
obviously as well, like, we haven't had too many Adelaide bands on.
No, we
Actually,
haven't.
We've done a lot of
Yeah, right.
other bands around the country. So it's exciting for us as well because it's like we love seeing, people from Adelaide succeed. And it's obviously a bit harder here. We've talked about this a million times, but we don't have Black Market or anything anymore where you guys can play a show every 6 weeks or something, on a rotating roster like we used to years ago. So for you guys to get, be able to get the tours and whatever else, it's a lot harder. It's about who you know. It's the work that you put in.
That's
Our fourth.
we're gonna say another grateful thing is to Jaden Roy he's our booking agent from Destroy All Lines, and
Yes.
every show that we've gotten like since right before he took us on, and since then has just been like just 100% due to his like work and like his pushing us and like having faith in us and really like getting behind us and pitching us for shows and tours and stuff like that. Like he puts so much work in.
He does more than a booking agent.
He does, yeah.
Like he, I don't know, like slash manages in a way. Like
Yeah,
not,
like
not like completely, but like gives us
anytime-
so much advice.
Just
and,
just because we're so like sort of like young in the music industry, I suppose. Like there's just so many things about the way certain things work that we just don't know. And obviously he's been around for so long. So like if there's just things I need to discuss, he'll just be open for me to me giving him a call, and we'll just have like really good chats and sort of help us out. So yeah, it does way more than just sort of says like, yeah, here guys, I got you this show. He's like really, really involved and really trying to push us and build us up. So like a lot of credit goes to him.
Make sure you clip this and send it to him. Hey bro, we jumped on a podcast. Like, here's where you start from, by the way. Hour 30 minutes, whatever it is. I just want to quickly give a quick grateful shout out to my beautiful wife Erica as well for just watching a woman fucking give birth is just the most insane thing of all time. And she's just an absolute trooper. I'm obviously, a week later I'm out doing fucking podcasts. I've got a gig on Saturday. I'm already abandoning her to go and do the shit that I'm passionate about. And she's just always so supportive of everything that I want to do. So just want to give a quick shout out to the absolute fucking legend that is my wife Erica. Anything you're grateful for at the moment?
I think I'm grateful for my health. I was actually thinking about this recently.
Yeah.
This is not something that we've talked about a lot, but I'm grateful just to be healthy and able to go out there and actually like live life in a way where I'm not impaired by something.
Well, yeah, after as well. I've been noticing again because you had obviously your tonsillitis or your tonsil removal surgery, and the back of the car on the way to fucking divination 10 years, you were throwing out screams again, which you weren't able to do for like nearly a year.
I couldn't scream since 2019. So I haven't been able to do any vocals since 2019, and I've literally started making music in 2011. So like, did years and years, and I finally got the surgery, and I was like, fuck, I can finally start to relearn how to like shape my throat again and get it going. So I'm grateful for my health, boys, I reckon.
That's a good one.
Fuck yeah. Well, that leaves us with our final question, the all-important. Nothing else matters. Heartline doesn't matter.
Podcast doesn't matter.
Your podcast doesn't matter. How you answer this question is everything.
Okay, Div's not going first.
Can I hit him with it?
Hit him with it.
Would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses, and why? Michael looks ready to go. If you're ready, man.
I'm comprehending it for a second. I got confused there. A
horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Am I allowed context questions?
Oh.
Why not?
Go on. We'll accept or decline.
Is it like myself and the whichever opponent I choose, are we both unwilling in this? Are we being put in a ring to fight, or are they coming at me? Like, they're
coming at you.
They're coming at me, so it's like I'm defending myself.
They're coming at you.
Horse-sized duck.
Right.
It would be hard to fight a duck that was unwilling to fight me because ducks can be adorable.
Yeah.
But horses are strong.
Yeah, bro.
100 little horses, they would have me in they'd have me so quickly. I'd go the duck.
I'd send you, bro.
Yeah.
I gotta go the opposite. I feel like ducks can be ducks. I don't know. If you ever watch a goose, they're like aggressive ass.
But that's not a duck. That's a goose. It's a different animal.
Ducks can be aggressive too.
It's similar. It's a similar thing. So I feel like a duck that's that big would just rip you to pieces.
Yeah.
Rip you with what though? It's got that little
a horse
beak.
that's like this big. I can just kick it.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael.
See, that's everyone's answer when it comes to the horses.
I'm just
I reckon that still has some weight behind it. There's 100 of them.
Exactly.
You get one kick in, and then there's
size of a
3
duck.
more under your leg.
No, there's 15 more on your leg.
Exactly. Yeah.
Give me a cricket bat and an owler.
And he's like, I'll kill both. Because I'm not a pussy. I think that's a perfect way to end the podcast.
Love it.
Boys, give us all your links, your social medias. Obviously, the song 10 has just come out on the 19th by the time we drop this.
And Loose, yeah. I probably just should have put that in like a folder for you guys as well. We've been so focused on the single.
That's okay.
With
we
the music
chuck,
video.
10 if you're happy for us to at the end of the episode as well.
That'd be cool.
So it'll just roll straight from the outro into the song. But yeah, where can everyone find you?
Just on
Instagram at
Instagram,
Heartline Oz.
Heartline AUS,
Wow,
and
Instagram.
Heartline on Facebook and Heartline on Spotify. Yeah, listen to our music, please.
Yeah, go listen to As the
Give
Crow
it
Flies.
streams.
Yeah, as the crow flies
Listen to
is
that
a bang.
breakdown.
Thank
you. Yeah.
Punt your children.
No,
Have a
so
go.
let's not leave it on that.
Punt your kids.
Punt
to
your
Heartline.
That's the new
That'll be-
tagline. Punt your kids to this.
We will call this episode like featuring Heartline Punt Your Kids.
Punt
I've
your
already
kids.
decided.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Guys, thank you so much for
Yeah,
coming on.
thanks,
It's been an
boys.
absolute pleasure. Obviously,
thanks for having us.
when
Thank
we
you.
met you at the show, we like harassed you at the sound desk about wanting to do a podcast because obviously we were already fans, and then our fandom only went further through the roof after seeing you guys absolutely smash
Thank
it
you.
live. So I'm excited for when you guys are going to be playing again in Adelaide, and we'll always do our best to come along. And best of luck for the release and everything else coming up.